And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a really simple one for you. This is Chive Blossom Compound Butter. Now, we've done compound butters before. This one's a little bit different. Now, I'd like to remind everyone that we have an affiliate link with Chef's Temp. If you need a temperature probe or meat thermometer, please check out the link in the description below. But in the meantime, let's get going with the ingredients for our very simple and delicious Chive Blossom Butter. So, we have a lot of chive blossoms. These are straight out of our garden. We have some butter. You want some nice soft room temperature butter. We're going to use a little bit of vermouth and a little bit of lemon juice. So, not many people really cook with chive blossoms that I've seen, but they are definitely a really delicious and completely edible culinary ingredient. So, we're just going to cut them off of the stems here. And then you want to remove these little papery sort of things just beneath the blossom. You want to take those off as well. They're not all that nice texture-wise, so we're just going to remove those. Now, we are going to reserve just a few of those chives. We don't want a whole lot of chive flavor in this, just a little. The blossoms themselves have a really amazing, slightly garlicky kind of aroma to them, actually. And they're really, really good. So we're going to just lightly chop these blossoms along with just a couple of those chives. And mostly we just want to get them a little bit smaller. We don't want them to be huge, big chunks. We want to be able to spread this pretty easily. So we're going to chop them up until they're about that size. That's just about perfect. And then we're going to pop those into our bowl, our big mixing bowl here. And from there, we are going to mix in our other ingredients. So the next thing is just a little bit of that vermouth. We have a little bit of a fancy sort of locally produced vermouth. You can use just regular white vermouth for that. And a little bit of that lemon juice. A little bit of salt as well. Yeah, there's the lemon juice there. And from there, we're going to add just a touch of salt in there. And you don't want too much liquid because the butter has to hold all of this as well. So you don't add a lot of liquid. And you want to make sure your butter is nice and soft at room temperature, and also that your room is not too warm. If it's too hot in your house and the butter's going to melt, just make sure you're keeping things on at the right temperature for what you're trying to do. So here it is all mixed together. We've got it well combined. You can see those nice little bits of chive blossom in there with the chive. And then we're not going to use it right away. We really want this to sort of come together. We want it to really mature a little bit and let the aromas and the flavors spread through the butter, and everything is going to come together really, really nicely. So we're going to cut this, or I say cut, we're going to spread this into kind of a long, thin log. And you can decide how thin you want it. Now, it's really soft right now, so it's super easy to mold. And you want to get it sort of as round as you can, just because it's a little easier to deal with and it's easier to roll up that way. So just try to get it to the thickness you want, and have an eye to when you're using it, the size of the round you want to be able to cut off of it to use on things. Now, this compound butter is amazing to use wherever you would use compound butter. You can spread it on toast as a replacement for like garlic toast. It's also amazing on things like steaks, for finishing steaks off and that sort of thing. We've used compound butter in recipes in the past. This is a sort of chivey, slightly garlicky aroma sort of butter that you can use for many of those sort of reasons. So we're going to make sure this is well wrapped. We've got it wrapped in parchment paper and then in plastic wrap. And we're just going to make sure that it's all well sealed up in there. We don't want it to dry out, especially. And that sat in the fridge for a couple of weeks, actually. And you can see those beautiful little bits of chive blossom in there and the chive. And we're just going to spread that. We've got some beautiful toast here. Now we're being a little bit generous here just to sort of show you what it looks like. Those nice little bright purple bits in there. It is visually stunning. The aroma is amazing. It has this great sort of chivey, garlicky almost aroma to it, and is absolutely delicious, and we hope you'll give this one a try if you can get your hands on some fresh chives with the blossoms intact, because I know it's not super easy to get, but if you can find them, it's worth the try. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe, and if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, Please let us know in the comments below. We'd like to thank our patrons over on Patreon. If you'd like to support us there, I'll put a link for that as well in the description below. And remember to love your food.